Hey there, and welcome back to another Miraculous Ladybug Season 1 retrospective review, where I go back through some of the older episodes of Miraculous that I've never made videos on, and I give my thoughts on them. And yeah, for its time, Season 1 was a pretty awesome show. It got a lot of hype and became very, very popular, but my god, some of the episodes these days, they're a bit of a slog to get through. Last time we had Timebreaker, which was actually really good, I thought, but for every Timebreaker, you have at least 2 more snooze fests. So yeah. But anyway, today we have Horrificator, which, before I watch it, I think it's the one where they filmed the horror movie in class, right? So I think this one actually was really good. Should be interesting. Okay, so we drop into the episode in the midst of class where Ms. Boustier's class are filming a student project starring Adrian and Mylène as Special Forces agents fighting a monster. Okay, so Mylène's scared of Ivan's mask as it makes him look like a real monster. Nah, dude looks like a budget luchador. But hey, maybe that's her very specific fear. Who am I to judge? But that being said, if you cannot function knowing that the person under the mask is actually just an actor acting and is somebody that you know personally as well, and who is constantly reassuring you between takes that it's not real and that he's not scary to the point that you have a breakdown and you have to hide under the table, I think school is not the place for you to be. Jeez. And then Chloe hits her, well, it's a very harsh statement, but I'll fess up and admit I did laugh at what she said a little bit. Season 1 Chloe was actually rather funny in hindsight. It's very sad what happened to her character, I think. And I gotta say, I just found this whole scene very funny. Like, there's so much to unpack. But I love how they managed to capture the full experience of making a student film when you're in high school. The bad camera work, poorly chosen angles, the bad acting, actors looking at the camera, bad props. The fact that this scene is for some reason taking place in a school. Oh, it's all very accurate. Although I gotta say, Nino, son, your script needs work. Like, come on. For some reason, all the action of the film has already taken place. They're reaching the final climax where they face the monster, and their big romantic kiss is already coming up in the first scene. Also, the mental image of shy, timid Mylène having to kiss Adrian, that makes me laugh. But yeah, this is apparently scene 1. I don't think this film's going to be winning any awards. Oh well. Also, I like that they have professional lighting equipment, like a proper good lighting rig, or at least for a student film, and yet they're filming with a dodgy little iPhone. This is like set in 2016. iPhones weren't that good yet. At least not to the quality they are now. And I'm just going to say, if the school has these type of lights, surely they'd have a camera for them to use as well? Wouldn't they? So yeah, Mylène runs away after Chloe mocks her, and Marinette asks if anybody's going to go after her, which kind of feels like it's only there to force the plot in a specific direction, allowing her to stay in class and almost kiss Adrian, because in pretty much every other scenario, if one of her classmates was upset, she would have been the first out the door to chase them down and make sure they're alright, but here, it's up to Ivan. And of course the big fella goes and he tries his best, but it doesn't work out. As after all, Mylène had been humiliated in front of literally everybody in class. A few kind words is not going to wipe that out so quickly for most people. Embarrassing. I feel bad for her. And so yeah, this activates Gabe's creeper sense, and off goes the Akuma. Meanwhile, Chloe gets into it with Nino for running off his lead actress, and then again with Ivan for making Mylène cry, before Marinette, as the film's producer, declares that she's going to ensure that the film is finished by that evening. She's a bit of a tough ask. Or at least is completely filmed, to which Max tells her the deadline is in 26 hours. What? Okay, it suddenly became even more relatable that this class has waited till the absolute last second to film the project for the contest. But still, even a day before feels like it's cutting it very fine, doesn't it? And so Chloe tries to butt in and become the lead, which in turn reveals that Nino had edited Alia's script to include a kiss in the first scene. Okay, so I guess both Nino and Alia are terrible writers. Hopefully her body of work is a little bit better on her blog. But yeah, Marinette ain't having any of this. And since they still have like 9 hours to go until the principal kicks them out, something tells me, based on the production quality they've got going on here, everything's going to be just fine. They'll get it filmed, not like they're dealing with high-tech equipment, and resets should be easy peasy. But yeah, Chloe, she sucks. As in, not just as a person, but as an actress. She's terrible, she forgets her lines, and she just goes straight to the kiss. Marinette then bursts in and the whole thing gets derailed, and then she tricks Chloe into going to try on nurses' outfits, whilst Alia pressures her into taking the lead and getting to kiss Adrian. Although Marinette then says that once Mylène returns, she's going to give back the role. But wouldn't that just mean all the footage they have already filmed with Marinette would have to be reshot? It's not like they have the time or the budget to green screen Mylène over the top of things. Do they? Anyway, they go to do the kiss scene, and this is where I have to say, hold up, isn't this scene 1? Mylène was also doing scene 1, wasn't she? So what happened to the speech? Don't they give a speech, they face the monster, then they have the big romantic kiss all in one scene? For one, what kind of garbage film is this anyway? But 2, if Marinette's going to replace her, shouldn't she also be doing the dialogue, and shouldn't they have the monster there? But why are they going to the kiss first? Doesn't make any sense. But yeah, Chloe, in a rare moment of intelligence, figures out that Marinette was getting her out of the way. She bursts in, she yells at her, but of course she leaves Kim and Max downstairs, where Horrificator snatches them whilst they scream very loudly. The class then makes their way down to the scene of the abduction and only finds Goop, and I'll be real, it's at this point, if it was me, that I'd be booking for the exit. Sorry Kim, sorry Max, I'm going home. Rest in peace. But I guess the students are a little bit braver than I am, as instead of doing that, they just head off to the principal's office to warn him. Oh, and Nino has the brilliant idea to turn this into a found footage monster movie. And this is actually good. Better than the garbage he'd had ready to film earlier, at least. May as well. Adrian then ditches the group to frame getting abducted so he can turn into Cat Noir, with the full transformation being showed on screen, of course. Gotta fill out those minutes. Whilst Horrificator starts to seal the exits of the school and pen them all in. And oh, what do you know? The principal's gone as well. And whilst the class panics, Marinette too ditches to go and transform. Of course, filling out even more of the runtime with the full transformation, as is Season 1 tradition. Ladybug then appears, much to the delight of Alia and Ladyblog, but also to director Nino and his new documentary horror flick. Honestly, too true. He struck gold here, and then Cat Noir appears. I love Nino's reaction to this. My god. When he actually finishes this movie, he needs to upload it to YouTube. This would actually go viral. It's a front row seat to the actual battle against a real-life horror movie monster. You're not going to find that anywhere else. It's like Peter Parker's pictures of Spider-Man that only he was able to get. They would blow up. We then cut away to see poor old Max getting chucked inside a goop egg, with his fear powering up the monster even further, whilst Chloe and Sabrina pull a horror movie rookie mistake and split off from the main group. I mean, has nobody heard the term safety in numbers? Like, this thing is a predator. And predators pick off the easy targets as it requires less effort and less energy. Like, what are they thinking here? Oh, well, I guess I was wrong, because this thing attacks the big group instead and snatches Nathaniel, getting stronger from all of the fear until Julika laughs and smiles because for some reason she thinks that a savage goo monster trying to murder them all is just the height of cool. What's her priorities? Like, I mean, it ends up being the right thing because it shows the lack of fear is weakening it, but still, who would actually think this is cool? Ugh. But yeah, it weakens the monster, then everybody screaming makes it strong again, and so Ladybug quickly figures out what's happening. But of course the monster beats their ass, gives Ivan a quick kiss. Ew. I mean, that is one long tongue. And it escapes with Alex and Nathaniel. Wait, why did it even leave? Isn't the whole point to get the Miraculouses? Shouldn't Gabe be raging that it had them pinned down in goo and it did nothing to get them? More to the point, it sealed off the school. How would it have known that Ladybug and Cat Noir would be inside the school at the right moment? And so based on this, surely Gabe would have to know that they must attend the school, right? No? Smooth brain? Yeah, smooth brain. And speaking of smooth brains, what do you know? Horror movie logic was right, because the next to get snatched are Chloe and Sabrina. Mostly because the idiots only barricaded one door. Like, come on. Try a little harder to notice there's multiple ways into this classroom. Anyway, the whole class heads into the murder basement to confront the monster, and then we witness the most egregious insult to the intelligence of the audience ever when they call out for Adrian to see if he's okay, and Cat Noir hides and answers as Adrian. So, are we just meant to pretend like their voices aren't exactly the same? The magic would still be masking his voice, right? And it would sound like Cat Noir. I mean, and that's only if magic even disguised their voices because, he didn't transform. So, what's going on here? Oh, man. I hate that. And then the ending. Oh, come on. They pin the monster in with the bars and then they sing along and then she's fine. Ugh, for God's sake. They reverse everything. Happy days all round. Everybody's free. Woo! Oh, this episode was so good. And then they fumble it in the last 2 minutes and ruin it. At least Ivan and Milene share their romantic kiss. Nino has a hit film, or you'd think so, but for some reason, idiot Mayor Bourgeois doesn't let it into the contest because apparently it's not believable. What? Surely the school getting attacked made the news, right? Did nobody notice the goop covering the school? Come on, dude. Nino should upload it online, like I said. It'll do well. But yeah, that's really the end of the episode. And like I said, it started really, really good and I really enjoyed most of it, but then it just fumbled it and made me feel like an idiot for even liking it to begin with. That stuff in the basement was just so stupid. But yeah, with all that being said, these have just been my opinions and I'd like to hear yours. What did you think of the episode if you've watched it recently? Did you like it? Hate it? I'm curious for your thoughts, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let me know.